Hi guys, nice to see you again. Right, I'm just going to show you a couple of the problems that you could end up with when chalk painting chairs. As you know, or I hope you know, that'd be really nice if you did, that I am a professional artist and I also do bespoke upcycled furniture with which I put my bespoke fabrics on made from my images. For example, I'll just show you the one here that I've done recently. That's one of my paintings. I had it bespoke made onto furniture. I put a trim round the chair, chalk painted it, I've now varnished it. And over here was the original chair, well, one of the two original chairs I should say. So you can see I've really transformed it. From something I'd say fairly old-fashioned, dated, a bit tatty. If I just sort of take you in there, you can see it's a bit kind of messy, and I've kind of updated it. However, there are problems, and unless you have someone like me telling you, because I've now had the experience of it, you're not going to know. It is true that using the Sarah Jane chalk paint, or any chalk paint for that matter, you can go straight on. I use Sarah Jane. I find it's absolutely fantastic for what I need. Generally I put it straight on. You don't need waxes and varnishes. If you don't need, you can buff it up. However, I have my way of doing things, and I still use the Sarah Jane chalk paint because for me, it's what I've started with, it's what I like. I haven't seen anything better or heard of anything better, so I stick with it. Right, now, one of the problems you have with chalk painting, and it's actually not the chalk paint. So if ever you're painting something and you're going to get this problem, do not, by any realm, think that it's the chalk paint. Right, now if I can just explain. You can see here I've got a dark chair, and that's really old and dated. That probably goes right back to the probably late 19th century, I should imagine. And that is definitely going to have the problem that I'm going to talk about. What I'm going to talk about is staining. Right, now you can see this is actually quite a modern chair. All the original covers, they all have fire protection to them, so that means it's a relatively recent chair. I think probably within the last 30 odd years, I would say, when all these laws became. Now you can see that it's not too bad. There's a few bits of staining on there, but I don't know where this chair came from, and obviously I've already done its sister, so to speak, and I've chalk painted it. Now that went on great. The chalk paint went on fantastic, no problems whatsoever. However, I then came to varnish it, and I'll show you the back of the chair. Right, now I'm going to zoom right in, and you can see there's some sort of staining there. Kind of reminiscent of what you would see, I don't know, say if you put a tea bag on the side in the kitchen, and it kind of looks a bit like water stains. Now I've only got a few, and they're generally over the back for some reason, and over the back of the legs. If I can just show you that. You know, it probably looks worse on video than it does in life, to be fair, because in all honesty, this chair's fine. However, it does have these stains, and I'm annoyed. So I want to put that right. Now, the best way to put it right is not having to put it right, if that makes sense. What you should do is prepare it in the first place. Now, like I said, it is very, very true that you can put chalk paint straight onto the item that you're going to use. But if you don't know the history or the life of where that chair, piece of furniture, whatever has come from, then you don't know what sort of environment it's been in, etc, etc. Also, like I said about the old chair, older chairs had different methods of being made and different methods of being varnished and treated and what have you. So what you can end up with, one that comes straight to mind, is nicotine. If your piece of furniture has been in a smoker's house, or round smoke in a pub perhaps, well, I don't know, they don't smoke in pubs now, do they, but perhaps an old chair in pubs, then that's going to cause problems. Now, there is a way round that. It's not to clean it. It would cause you a lot of work. I mean, ideally, give it a wipe over, yeah, by all means. I mean, we're all going to do that when we start anyway. Now, these chairs, I'm not even sure they came from a smoker's house. But there are other problems. Something I've heard about is called tannins within the wood. There are different problems with different woods. They have different degrees of acidity, I suppose. And you can chalk paint straight onto these items. No two ways about that. You'll put the chalk paint on, it will look fantastic, and you will be absolutely elated from what you've got, whether it's an old piece or a new piece. But when you put the varnish on, and I'm not sure about wax because I don't generally use wax, but it could be the same. But when you put varnish on, the varnish soaks into the chalk paint to protect it. However, that draws out any problems that are there, such as nicotine, tannins, any other stains that might be there on the chair. And that will draw that through the varnish. And then you'll end up with this staining. And of course, by that point, you've probably gone a bit too far. Because you don't want to end up varnishing and finishing an item. I mean, I can tell you this from experience, it's very annoying. So, if you are not working on a new piece of wood, you can put the Sarah Jane chalk paint, if you are working on a new piece of wood, you can put the Sarah Jane chalk paints on, generally, no problem whatsoever. However, if you don't know where your chair has come from, I mean, I had these couriered through to me from somewhere else in the country. If you don't know where they've come from, you don't know what sort of environment you've been in, the best thing you can do is prime it. Now, that's a very simple process. If I just take you over to my bench that I normally work on in the corner of my studio, I use this. Now, there are different types of this primer, sealer, stain killer, and it is quite an odd product to use. It is like milk. It is white and it is the consistency of milk. However, when you put it on, it becomes very sticky, very dry and very quick. So you have to work really quickly. But what you don't need is like a uniformed layer. You just slap it on, your paint's going to show, or your wood's going to show through. Kind of a bit like this, but I've probably even overdone that, if I'm being honest with you. So you just slap it on. You don't need as much as that. I've just done it because I was still at that experimental stage. So just slap it on. You'll probably have more brown than white showing, but you will have this uniformed layer. Sorry, not a uniformed layer, this very sketchy layer. You just scribble it on, literally. So you put that on, obviously you let that dry, then you go back over with the chalk paint, then you go back over with another layer of Sarah Jane chalk paint, and then you varnish, and nothing is going to come through that. Obviously make sure you've gone over everywhere, even if it is only just a very thin layer. So go over everything, do your chalk paint, do your varnish, you'll be fine. It's better than where I am right now, in the fact that I have actually finished this. There is staining. The staining doesn't really matter. It's okay, but it's annoying to me. I know it's there. I don't want it to be there. I want my customers to get the very best I can give them. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to just give that a light rub down. This is a way of putting it right if you go this far. I give it a light rub down, go over with a primer, and go back over with the whole process again. Obviously it's doubling my labour, very annoying, very time consuming, but that's a way of putting it right. So my honest opinion from now on, unless it's a completely brand new piece of wood, I know it's got no problems, I'm going to prime everything. Yeah, and then go straight on with the chalk paint then. And it is, like I say, it is very true, Sarah Jane chalk paints or any other chalk paints, you don't need to prime. However, my experience now is it's best to save yourself a lot of work. Anyway, I'll catch you up in the next video. I'm going to show you how to do this chair. I'm going to prime it. I'm going to show you the primed process, or the primed finish. Show you how very light I'm going to put that on, and then I'm going to show you how I chalk paint it, and then in a video after that I'm then going to show you how to put the fabric on and put the trim on, and how we can have this lovely pair of chairs. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you up in the next video. Bye!